Welcome to the Valentino monochromatic world, a fougere aromatic fragrance inspired by the bold Rockstud Noir color. Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. What is that, you may ask, the whole Rockstud Noir color? It's really easy to forget that we have designer fragrances only because either jewelry or crystals or clothing came first. On the Valentino website, there are plenty of examples. They have anything from outfits to casual shoes to dress shoes that are platform style, bomber jackets, card wallets, belts, pet backpacks, literally anything that you can imagine that can have a design on it, Valentino has in that Rockstud Noir style. And now there's a brand new fragrance in the Born in Roma line called Uomo Born in Roma Rockstud Noir, or Rendez-Vous Rockstud Noir. So after this brief intro, I'm going to give you guys my first impressions of this limited release. I've got that and more coming up, so stay tuned. Now that we know where the idea for the fragrance design kicked off, let's take a quick look at that presentation. On the front, in gray lettering, it says Valentino Uomo. Below that, Born in Roma Rockstud Noir. Right side of the box has no information, and the left side has a small QR code at the bottom left. The back of the box has ingredients information, cautionary information, a UPC, and address. The bottom of the box has a batch code of 38X700C. It is an eau de toilette concentration, 3.4 fluid ounces or 100 ml. The strong monochromatic colors and edgy pyramidal design of the bottle pays tribute to the iconic Valentino Rockstud, which is inspired by Roman architecture, where it embellishes the city's doors and walls, becoming a transformative symbol of all the different ways to be you. The lid and studded collar of the bottle is a matte black finish. The nameplate is made of leather and says in gray lettering Valentino, and the bottle, of course, is the square pyramidal design. The atomizer pump is black, and the aperture is a visible white. On the bottom of the bottle is a small adhesive sticker with various information, including the batch code. That's pretty much it for the design of the bottle. It's exactly like all of the other Born in Roma, with the exception that it is all black. There's no colorized juice on the inside, and the bottle isn't tinted a particular color. It's just black, just like Rockstud Noir is, because it's going off of that dark black theme. Now that we've taken a quick look at the inspired design, let's talk about the notes that make up this limited edition release. Born in Roma Rockstud Noir writes its signature with an intense fougere aromatic fragrance by first orchestrating the fusion of a fresh burst of Italian bergamots. Next, an aromatic sage brings a natural depth to the heart of the fragrance. And rounding out this trinity fusion, the ambergris or ambroxan accord settles in the fragrance with its amber and musky facets for a powerful and addictive base. All right, everyone, next up, let's discuss the aroma, the good stuff. Well, the first thing that you're going to notice, especially if you are a collector or a connoisseur of fragrance, that you're going to notice about Rockstud Noir is that it smells very similar to another very popular, relatively new fragrance out there. And yes, I'm referring to Ralph Lauren's Ralph's Club. This has a similar style, a similar profile in terms of the DNA as Ralph's Club, so it's no surprise that it smells like that. It's not quite as sharply metallic or green as Ralph's Club comes off in the very open, but it does have a very similar aromatic path or design to it. And while at first this may seem kind of disappointing to you, you'll quickly come to realize that you can't reinvent the wheel, and there's nothing new under the sun. It's really got to be hard for a perfumer out there to create something that is wholly new or original. So it's okay if it reminds you of another fragrance, but it's kind of tough in the realm of designer fragrances, especially when something was so recently released that smells like it. So I don't want to necessarily say it's a negative, but it is a little bit off-putting. And in fact, I think Ashton of Jensen's said that he did not include this in his best of 2023 simply because it does smell so similar to Ralph's Club. Now, what Rockstud Noir does have going for it is that it is a very versatile fragrance for everyday wear. It is neither too upscale nor too casual. It is that happy medium that many men are looking for in a quick grab and go type of cologne. Now, Ralph's Club is a bit sweet. This one is a little bit sweeter, but I find that to be not necessarily negative on the part of the fragrance. While Rockstud Noir and Ralph's Club run tandem in terms of how they smell for a long period of their use, more towards the end of the lifespan of the fragrance goes in a bit more of a different direction, and it's actually a bit more sexy and a bit more attractive, I think, than is Ralph's Club towards the end of the life cycle. Having said that, this lasts much longer than Ralph's Club. Unless you're happy with the decant, there aren't a ton of options out there right now for this limited edition fragrance, simply because they did limit the amount of time that they were going to produce it, manufacture it, and of course they limited the amount of bottles that they're producing. In fact, if you go to their fragrance website, you're going to see this word here that we all hate to see: discontinued. That's right, in the very short time that it was out there, it is discontinued. You can still get a full 100 ml bottle at Sephora in Kohl's right now. That's where I bought mine. And if you're willing to part with $115 USD, that's exactly how much it's going to cost you. I would say wait until it hits discounters, but if you want a bottle, now's your opportunity, because who's to say whether they're actually going to produce more? A lot of that is going to be determined by how people react to it, you know, the sales numbers and some other various factors. There's a good likelihood of that happening in the future, but there's just as much of a chance that they're not going to produce anymore and you would be left out in the cold. If you are a collector and you want a bottle, now's the time to get it. If you already have Ralph's Club, there's not really a huge reason to run out and get this because, again, it's so similar. But I will say it is a better fragrance. It's a little bit better in quality and definitely better in performance. Now, it won't outlast Ralph's Club Elixir. I'm not going to, hands down, but you're going to pay a lot more for that, right? And it's not a bit different at the end. It's just Ralph's Club Elixir. It's just more of the same. Whereas this goes a bit more in the direction of the Born and Roma line. It has that whole kind of Valentino youthful energy and relevance, that nouveau style that is Valentino, which is a bit different than the slightly more mature style of Ralph's Club. So that's the biggest difference between the two. Is just a bit more robust in terms of performance and has that youthful vitality that is better operated and used in Valentino fragrances than it is in Ralph Lauren fragrances. That's it for my first impressions of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Rendez-Vous Rockstud Noir. That's the full name. If you were one of the few that grabbed it up as soon as it was launched, let everyone know what your thoughts of this fragrance are in the comments below. Really appreciate that. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. Really appreciate it. Also, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.